Because
Exactly.
black women out there are the most.
Who's Marcus the Doctor?
And then everybody kept telling me, like, Marcus, you need to be in front of the camera. You need to be more of a personality rather than just behind the camera.
Which side are you on? HBCUs or PWI? And
PWIs, you learn how to deal with different people. You don't have everybody that looks like you.
you kind of just stepped out there, but what was the culture like?
The culture, I feel like it was definitely a party school, I feel like, because, man.
What's up, Teen Talk fam? This is the legendary Orginally, and today I have the honors of interviewing Marcus the Doctor. He should be shortly arriving, but for the moment, I want to know what's up with you guys. What's going on? How is quarantine treating y'all? Oh, look. Boom, let's see. Let me just add you real quick. Waiting.
Yeah.
Yeah, we in here. Let me
I was trying to figure out how it worked for a second.
Okay, so guys, we got Marcus the Doctor. So tell us about you, Marcus. Who's Marcus the Doctor?
Man, I'm just doing what I do with this podcast right now, just working on getting my word out there and having good conversations, discussions with guests, anybody that wants to jump on and have a discussion. I try to teach people what I know and just express my knowledge and everything like that to the people out there. People that just now finding out about me don't know that I actually was a photographer before I started all of this. And what happened was I was doing my photography, I was doing creative stuff there. And then everybody kept telling me, like, Marcus, you need to be in front of the camera. You need to be more of a personality rather than just behind the camera. So I was like, okay, so let me give it a shot. So I tried it out. I had a lot of people help me out, getting my show started and everything like that. And now it's just, I'm trying to make sure that it grows and grows and keeps growing. So I just got to stay consistent, keep doing what I do. But that's pretty much what I am, what I do, and who I am. So thank you for having me.
I can definitely tell that you have drive. So from my understanding, you transferred from UNLV to Southern Utah University, and now you're pursuing a master's degree.
Yes, man. So actually, it's a little bit more complicated than that. So I went to UNLV to redshirt my first year because I was a track athlete throughout college, but I redshirted my first year at UNLV. Then I transferred all the way over to William Penn University, which is a school in Iowa, because I got a track scholarship to run out there. And then I didn't like Iowa. It wasn't my scene. I'm more of a bubbly, exciting person, and just it was depressing. It was depressing out there. But then I transferred over to Southern Utah University for my last 2 years, where I finally finished my undergrad. And then now, yes, I'm at University of Arizona pursuing my master's. So, yeah, that's my education. My college journey was crazy.
Wow, that alone sounded like a whole entire roller coaster.
Whole roller coaster, but I'm here.
Yeah, that's all that matters. So, I have to ask, because everyone has a different college experience, a college journey. What was the trend like? What was the atmosphere of the colleges when you compare them from college to college to college to college?
Well, for me, it was a lot of ups and downs, because every university I went to was different in size and different in demographic as well. UNLV was a big university, so I wasn't too nervous to go there because I'm from Vegas. That's where I know a lot of people there already, so I was kind of comfortable in my own city. But then once I transferred to William Penn University, it's a very small private school. I mean, it was like 1,200 people, 1,200 students, and that's very small for a lot of universities. So me going there was definitely a crazy experience because it's a very rural country, and I'm a city person. I'm not used to that countryside, very small town vibe. So it just didn't work for me. But I mean, I ran track then, I did what I love, and it paid for my school. So I can't complain about that. And Southern Utah University was a really different experience because Utah was Cedar City is another small town. But the bright side about that is that I knew a lot of people that actually went to SU already. So this transition was smooth, and I had a lot of people on the track team that was working with me and everything like that. So it worked out perfectly. And then University of Arizona, I mean, I don't know nobody here. I kind of just went to get my master's and do my thing and try to get away for a little bit and just work on myself, my education. So, but I mean, it's all different experiences, like you said, and it's just, I'm grateful that I was able to go on that journey, though.
So you kind of just like stepped out there, but what was the culture like? Like honestly, the culture of UNLV has to be different from the culture of like Penn State or something like that. So
Mm-hmm.
personally, how was the culture? How was the people? How was the atmosphere? Tell me about that.
Man, it's so, yeah, you're right. I went through a lot of different shifts in culture, especially UNLV. The culture, I feel like it was definitely a party school. I feel like because it's UNLV. The
Yeah,
campus is right behind the strip. Sorry, what'd you say?
I say yeah, cause Vegas.
It's right behind the strip, and that was a lot. The culture there, I feel like, was more lively. A lot of people was going out, outgoing, talking to people and this and that. So I think it was very. It was a lot more outgoing than my other universities. William Penn was very, very. I mean, laid back. I mean, it was a bit cluttered because we only had 1,200 people, and almost everybody knew each other. So the culture there was like everybody knew each other, and they were a family. But it was also a lot of enemies. It was family and enemies because, like, when you mix.
Man.
You know what I mean? When you mix business and relationships and love and all of this stuff, it just gets all. And then Southern Utah University, I think the culture was very laid back and conservative. It was Utah is the LDS state, and a lot of it was a very religious state out there, so it was very laid back. It wasn't too much going on, and but I mean, I'm grateful for it all though, regardless. So, and University of Arizona, actually, let me say that too, is a big party school as well. It's a huge. I don't know if the scene. I'm just now getting used to the scene, but the scene is different. It's just.
Wait, so what are you involved with the University of Arizona?
So right now, I'm actually working there on campus in the College of Humanities Dean's office. I'm working there as an
Wow.
admin assistant and as a recruitment coordinator intern. And then I'm also just pursuing my master's. I haven't really got too involved with a lot of things there. I kind of just stepped aside and just want to take care of business, you know what I mean, and get out of there. It's not really a place where I'm calling like, I'm going out and doing all these different things. I would love to, but it's really hard when you don't know anybody and you're brand new and you're a graduate student. It's a different
Yeah.
experience. Being a graduate student is a way different experience versus being an undergraduate student. You know what I mean? So it's definitely hard for me to get out there and do what I used to do back in undergrad. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. So I see that you have a lot of different experiences as a student, and on one of your recent podcasts, you did have to play devil's advocate. So I honestly really got to know which side are you on, HBCUs or PWI? And for the people who don't know what either are, explain it as well.
Well, okay, well, first I'll explain it. HBCU is a historically black college or university where was originally built for black students to attend because they couldn't attend those PWIs. And the PWI is just a predominantly white institution, which is the majority of the country and everything like that. Mainly, it doesn't have to necessarily be a big university, but it's just if the demographic is typically more white than minority based, then it's typically a PWI. But since you said I played devil's advocate, yes, I did, just to spark up conversation and debate. But I do have to say is that I'm for anybody that's out there getting an education. I don't care where you go.
Just
I
education
mean,
in general.
exactly. If you're going to community college, if you're going to a HBCU or PWI, it doesn't matter to me as long as you're out there getting your education. Especially our black brothers and sisters out there that we don't have those resources that other people have. So if you're out there getting a degree from University of Oregon or Howard University, it doesn't matter to me. You got an education, you got a degree, and you're out there making a difference. And I think that's what's most important for me.
That's what really counts. But which side are you more in favor of, HBCUs or PWIs? Like, what do you feel like the biggest difference is besides, the obvious?
The biggest difference, I think, would be culture, most definitely, because especially if you're a black student attending the HBCU, you have a lot more resources and network where you can go out and talk to different people, and you have people that look like you, so they appreciate you, they appreciate your work, they appreciate your time commitment and everything. So I think that because you have that opportunity to network with your people, I think it's a lot easier for black students specifically to go out there and get those jobs and do what they want to do. At PWI, I say the experience is great because you learn how to be patient. PWIs, you learn how to deal with different people. You don't have everybody that looks like you. So that gives you the opportunity to go out there and understand other people and talk to other people. And when you go to HBCU, I feel like you're so enclosed with your own culture. When you go out there into corporate America, whatever, you got that good job, you don't know how to talk to certain people. You know what I mean?
Right.
But I will say, HBCUs, I love. It's a great experience. I mean, the culture, the vibe there. I mean, the education, everything. I think is all amazing. So, but if you're getting education, that's all that matters to me.
That's good. So you feel like as if a PWI helps build a foundation to where you learn how to work with other people, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Do you feel like other schools like UNLV would have taught you that, or William Penn? Like,
One thing I must say too, yes, you go out there and talk to different people and you get different experiences and you learn how to handle certain people. But I must also say that you do kind of have to be involved a little bit, because if you're in your own bubble, even if you're going to PWI or HBCU, if you're in your own bubble and you're just in class, I mean, you don't really have the opportunity to go out there and experience different
right.
people, to talk to different
That's
people.
true.
So what lucky with me, UNLV, it kind of sucked. I wasn't involved at all, UNLV.
Really?
Yeah, at all. I was kind of, just out of high school, I was in that mindset, I just want to run track. That's all I was thinking about. I just want to run track. But once I transferred universities and I realized, and I got involved in all these different things, I realized, well, okay, now that I'm involved in all these other things, now I know how to talk to this person. Now I know how to talk to my elders. Now I know how to talk to somebody that doesn't agree with me.
Right.
I used to have that mentality where I'm just going to argue with you. I don't care. Leave me alone. That high school mentality. But then once I got out of that and I grew a little bit and I matured, I realized that, everybody comes from different places. Nobody comes from the same place. So it's
Right.
like, me given that opportunity at those PWIs, I felt like everybody at PWIs come from all walks of life. HBCUs, majority of the time, you can relate, with that person because you guys come from the same background. You guys grew up typically the same. You got the same parents. You got the same morals. You know what I mean? So that culture shift, I feel like impacts a lot, especially international students.
So are there a lot of international students at like PWIs?
I don't know. I must say, I don't know if there's international students at HBCU, so I'm not going to speak on that. But I do know from my experience at the PWI, there are a lot of international students, and especially me at University of Arizona right now, working in the College of Humanities, which is all so many international students. So me being able to talk and understand people from different countries, I mean, I feel like I gained a lot from that. And I just personally think that at an HBCU, I wouldn't necessarily gain those skills and those soft skills that I could utilize in the workforce. But HBCUs are great. I love them regardless.
Okay, so from my understanding, so where you are today, which shows that your whole mindset has escalated from when you graduated high school. You graduated high school in 2015, right?
Yep.
Okay, so the pictures and stuff that I see you capture on your Instagram, they always seem to tell a story. So what's the mindset behind that? Like what goes on through your head when you tell your story through your pictures?
Well, my big thing is that when I started photography, I didn't want to be just a basic photographer that just didn't have, like you said, didn't have a story. Mm-hmm. And well, my biggest problem, especially growing up in Vegas, my biggest problem was that a lot of photographers, not necessarily in Vegas, but a lot of photographers nowadays like to capture just, nudity and this and that. I understand that's art to some people, but for me, I feel like I want to show art through colors. I want to show art through different concepts. Like, wow, how did you put green and yellow on this side to make it look like this? Just stuff like that. And I just, rather than just taking pictures of people, I want my pictures to tell that person's story in their picture. I want them to be their natural selves. I want them to express their own outfit, their own colors. I don't want to just say, hey, okay, I'm gonna take a picture of you like this. It's pose nice. No, I don't. I kind of want you to just. And my big inspiration for photography was a lot of people don't know this, but Tyler the Creator was my big inspiration for
wow.
For like art and creativity, because I love the way how he puts his colors and he puts his art. It's actual art to me. That's just me though, because some people may say like the human body or this and that or a motorcycle is art, but to me, I just feel like art is visual. It's visual. Exactly. You know what I mean? Like, when those colors pop. And when people can see those different details and those different colors everywhere, all over the place, that catches people's eye.
Which it definitely does. Absolutely, I agree with you 100%.
I just feel like I wanted to focus on what catches people's eye. When you scroll on Instagram, are you going to go past just a motorcycle or a car that's a nice picture on a cliff? You might scroll past that. You just might. Right. But if you scroll and see like, oh, what's all these colors? What's all this looking like? Let me see what this is going on. And then when you have a trend of all these different colors through your art, people are going to follow that, and they're going to say, wow, I mean, I wonder what kind of colors or what kind of concept he's going to drop today. You know what I mean? So that's just my opinion on art. Everybody has their own opinion, but that's just mine.
I think that's reasonable. So what was the transition like? Because if you look at your Instagram page, how did you go from, photography to actual like video graphics? What was that like?
So I'm not gonna lie, I kind of had. She said, "Smile, y'all." But I mean, what happened? I will be honest. When I started my photography journey and everything like that, I kind of went through a few slumps where I was getting all this attention, boom, 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 and I was building on all this momentum.
Mm-hmm.
But then once school got in the way, track got in the way. I mean, I was in Black Student Union. I was vice president there. I was doing all these different, I was doing all these different activities. And once I started posting less, my attention just dropped completely.
Wow.
So then when I post a picture, I get like 40, 50 likes versus when I used to get 200, 300 consistently. Right. So I got like in this depression mode, this depressive slump, this creative slump where I was like, okay, man, I suck. You know, everybody goes through that.
Yeah.
So, but me, part of my journey is that I talked to a few people. I talked to all these different people that encouraged me and told me like, hey, okay, look, just be consistent and you will get your audience back. So I'm like, okay, cool. So once I started getting back consistent, that's when people were telling me like, well, maybe photography, yes, you're good at it, but maybe that's not your calling. Why about you try being in front of the camera? Because you have this personality that's very, outgoing and everything like that. So I was like, okay, well, let me try that. So then I tried it and I started hosting shows and I started going out there being MCs for like Tuesday Blend and all these other shows in the city. And then everybody started to catch on. It was crazy. I mean, like, it's an opportunity to go out there and show my personality, show my face, and let people know who I am, get the crowd going, get everybody engaged. And I felt like that was a great experience for me. So
when you were out there, MCing, what was the main thing you was doing on stage? Were we rapping, singing, spitting? Like, what's going on?
So my main role was to MC, introduce people, get the crowd hype, go out there with a mic and talk.
Oh, you was the hype man.
Yeah, I was pretty much getting everybody going, getting everybody ready for the next act. But I do have the privilege of, I have a few musicians, I have a few artist friends that were actually artists and musicians in the city, and they did their shows in there and that. So I had the opportunity to actually perform with them on stage, not necessarily rapping, but just kind of being like that person next to them and getting the crowd going, put your hands up, stuff like that. You know what I mean? So that was a cool experience to be able to do that as well.
So to me, it sounds like multi-talented, not so much of not your calling, because you started off behind the scenes. Now you're doing your own podcast. How do you balance all of that? Tell me.
Well, I take it in stages. I mean, I might be dropping my podcast consistently for the next 2 months, but then maybe I'll take 2 or 3 weeks. Okay, let me get a couple photo shoots in. You know what I mean? I just do it in different stages. I haven't been as consistent with my photography, sadly, because I do live in Tucson, Arizona, where I don't know anybody. I don't have any network. I don't have opportunity. So I have to go out there and get it. And I'm not, everybody out there, I'm not saying just sit back if you don't have networking. Go out there and get it regardless. But right now I'm just focused on spreading the word, spreading my messages out there, having good discussions, having good debates. And I think that's part of my maturity. And I feel like I have a lot that I feel like I can inspire for certain people. And not everybody may listen to it, but at the end of the day, as long as I stay consistent and do what I love and I'm passionate about what I'm talking about, people will eventually listen. So.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And one of your pictures, I really liked it. You had on a shirt. It said either protect Black women or support Black women or something like that. Have you ever, advocated, or I would say like maybe... like, have you ever really stood behind something in particular that's like, dang, let me get this together.
Nah, you good. Take your time. It's all love.
Let me see. Have you ever, let me see. How do I say it? Protested. That's the word I'm looking for. Like, have you ever protested for something in particular related to that? Because I think that's a strong message alone,
Mm-hmm. Well, the Stand With Black Women shirt, how I got that is at my undergrad at Southern Utah University, I was very active and outgoing with. Hold on, do y'all hear this dog? Let me hold on.
I wasn't gonna say nothing, but oh god.
Man, okay, I'm good. Sorry.
I
So
wasn't gonna say nothing.
man, whatever. But sorry about that. But my so in my undergrad, I got involved with Black Student Union, and I became vice president of activities for Black Student Union. And that's when I really got involved, and when I really started advocating for not just Black women, but the Black community in general.
Right.
So once that happened, I wouldn't necessarily protest, but I would go out there and do marches. Like at my university, we had an MLK march that we do for his birthday, and we'll go out there and march like it's the 50s, 60s, and we'll go out there with signs and everything like that, and we'll do those type of marches. We'll do a lot of educational panels, a lot of educational events. Not necessarily go out there and protest, but we like to do it in a way that we educate people rather than going out there and screaming at somebody that doesn't agree with us. Right. Everybody that's out there protesting, I get it 100%. We're angry. The Black community is angry with so many different things, and I get that. But my method at my university was, okay, let's educate these people. Let's find out why they think this way. And then once we find out why they think this way, then we can counter them back and be like, okay, well, let me educate you real quick. Let me tell you a little something. This is why it's wrong. This is why
you help you out. Right.
Exactly. And that Stand With Black Women shirt, I got that before I moved out here. My mentor was her name was Dr. Shavala Rivera. She was the chief diversity officer at Southern Utah University. And she would always just tell me, like, no matter what, no matter how many people yell at you, no matter how many people spit at you, this and that, just always make sure that you hold your ground and you understand the other side. And that way you will be able to communicate your message, and then they can communicate their message, and you can come to a common understanding as to why, everything's going on like this. And that Stand With Black Women shirt, I just wanted to promote that because, Stand With Black Women, there's too many instances out there where black women are the most disrespected group of people on this
Say it again. One more time. One more time.
Black women are the most disrespected group of people on this planet.
Period.
And I have to preach that, and I wouldn't know this if it wasn't not know this, but what am I trying to say? Somebody who helped me really understand that was my girlfriend Sunny Sims, and I love her to death, and I appreciate her 100% because, like, she really opened up to me and told me, like, look, this is why Black women are disrespected. She was actually the president of Black Student Union. So, yeah, so when I talked to her and she opened up and told me, like, look, this is what's going on. This is crazy. Like, we like to have like intellectual discussions, and that really opened my eyes. And I'm like, I don't just need to advocate for Black men and our Black brothers in the Black community, but I need to advocate for our Black women. Because
exactly,
Black women out there are the most. I'm telling you, if you look up the stats, Black women are the most qualified. They have the most degrees out of anybody. And I'm like, if you guys have the most degrees, the most drive, and Black women put up with so much back then, and even now, it's just like,
yes.
I feel like you have to advocate for Black women no matter what. I mean, and I went back to my interracial dating podcast. It's like, men, y'all can date whoever y'all want. If you're a Black man, date whoever you want. I get it. It's love. I'm not going to force you to date somebody. But don't sit there and disrespect Black women just because
Period.
that's not what you like.
I love your mindset.
You know what I mean?